So tell us about your company.
So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my company. NavMD was created to support 172 million Americans that get their benefits from their employer. Both employers and employees are completely frustrated by their benefits they receive from their employer for two reasons. One, over the last 20 years, the cost trend has not been good. The costs have risen from $1 trillion to $4.7 trillion. Employers, this is their number two expense, and they believe it's uncontrollable. And we help them realize that it's 100% controllable. And because it's controllable, they add money to their bottom line and increase their enterprise value. From an employee perspective, they're frustrated because it continues to eat into their take-home pay. So over the last 20 years, that same 20-year period, employees, their take-home pay has increased 103%. Inflation has increased 73%, but the contribution rate for benefits has increased 288%. So deductibles, co-pays, and contribution rates are eating up any excess income these employees may have. And that is the real reason why bankruptcies represent 66% of all medical expenses. So our mission is to partner with the most innovative companies in America to fix employee benefits one plan at a time. And the blueprint for fixing it starts with data.
How did you find Fullscale?
Fullscale was referred to me by a friend, somebody I trust, a guy named Scott Havens. He said, "Hey, you need to talk to my buddy, Chris Parker." And so when I met Chris Parker, I said, "Hey, yeah, let's rock. Let's talk about this," because we were in the process of deciding if, hey, should we continue on with having in-house developers like most of my projects that I've done in the past, or do we look to an alternative way of approaching this that still can deliver the same technology, maybe at a more cost-effective way?
What problem were you trying to solve when you chose Fullscale?
So my CTO at the current time, a guy named Bill Marshall, was president of Moonshot Innovations, and he led our development team, which was, they were Moonshot people. Moonshot decided that they were getting out of the development business because it's hard. Like, why would we be in that when there's so many other ways that we can support our clients? So it was either hire the developers that Moonshot have and bring them in-house, or explore other options. In the past, I've had offshore resources. I've had them in India. I've had them in Ukraine. Ukraine went really pretty well. India was not good at all. The conversation, it was really hard to understand. It was really intense trying to make sure the communication structure was good. And so when I heard that first, Fullscale has Philippine developers and English is the number one language, I'm like, hey, we're already off to a good start.
Yeah, so what has been different about Fullscale compared to some of your other experiences, maybe besides just the English part of it?
Well, I mean, that communication, as you know, is to be successful in developing a product or hiring people or leading people or whatever. I mean, communication is the foundation for being successful at that. So for us, that's kind of the anchor that has allowed us to, I believe, be successful. But I think the Fullscale team has been really supportive across the board and has allowed us to really prioritize things and get things done, at the speed that we need to get them done.
What is your favorite part of working with your Fullscale team?
I don't work with the Fullscale team day to day. My chief data officer works with him and the development guy. But I can tell you this: we have had zero issues with our web development team. I mean, zero. It's been a great experience. We prioritize work. We assign it to them. They're very self-sufficient, which is really important because we kind of have we don't want to have a really defined process with our web development team. So there's got to be a little bit of trust that we have with those guys, and they're really good.
What should others know about Fullscale that you haven't mentioned?
Well, if you're looking to develop a product, and I guess I'll start with, I've had developers. I built a product with Russ called Shareware, we had a small team there, 4 people. My fintech business, we had 200 developers, all here in America. But there is something to be said for giving people an opportunity to, that they might not have in other parts of the world. I mean, I think that's kind of what we're called to do to make this place a better place. And I think Full Scale's done that for us, at a much better price point. If I do some calculations in my head, I think it's 75% less than we'd pay if we had to hire somebody in-house.